Hey everyone, I'm Morgan, owner of Inked Goddess Creations, and as a metaphysical witchy store owner, I always get asked, do you have any recommendations? Like, I'm starting out on my path. Do you have any books or websites? Or, I want to get into herbal or crystals or, all that. So I decided I wanted to do this series called My Witchy Bookshelf. Some of these books, I'm kind of old school. I collect books, and a lot of these have been with me for 20 years. So these are just books that have resonated with me, books that I recommend to people. I'm going to split the series up into different subject matters, so it doesn't get too overwhelming. And this is not an affiliate post. I'm not getting paid to recommend these books. These are just ones that personally resonated with me. I understand that, there are so many more books out there now. I kind of have, especially with this first video, where we're doing basic Wicca and witchcraft. I really haven't purchased anything in probably about 10 or 15 years since, I started on my path. So these are old school. They're books that are tried and true for me, that have resonated with me, over the years. So I've told my story recently on our blog on the shop. So the website is www.inkedgoddesscreations.com. And on there, you'll see a link for the Inked Grimoire. That's our shop blog. So I recently told the story of how I began on my path, my spiritual path, almost 20 years ago now. And when I was about 15 or 16, the first book I picked up was Wicca, a guide for the solitary practitioner by Scott Cunningham. So this is a triple book. This is Wicca, and then Living Wicca, which is the sequel, and then the complete book of incense, oils, and brews. I've had this for probably 10 to 15 years now. I'm not sure where I got it or if they even still make the combined version. But Wicca, a guide for a solitary practitioner, is a great starting point if you want to transition into an earth-centered religion. He gives you the basics on Wicca, practicing, and for me, it was a really easy transition. I grew up in a Methodist/Presbyterian house, and there was just something missing for me. And when I picked up this book, all my questions that couldn't be answered by Christianity were answered by Wicca. I currently now, 20 years later, I'm not a Wiccan. I'm more of just an eclectic witch. But this book was a great starting off point for me. And in talking with other people, they started with it too. So it's great for the basics, great to spring off and kind of find your own path. So the second book for me that I picked up after this was Silver Ravenwolf's To Ride a Silver Broomstick. And I don't have that copy anymore. I don't know what happened to it. We've moved a lot. But I do have the third book in the series, which is To Light a Sacred Flame. So the first book, To Ride a Silver Broomstick, is all about the basics of witchcraft. I love Silver Ravenwolf. I love her voice. I love her writing style. Some of it can be kind of cheesy, but it is a great cheesy. It is like Charmed cheesy. It is like the Good Witch cheesy. It is very easy to follow, very easy to understand. And that's why I love her books. So I do highly recommend her as an author, period. And then I do recommend her books. So the first one, To Ride a Silver Broomstick, is about the basics of witchcraft. Then To Stir a Magic Cauldron goes kind of deeper into practicing. And then this is the third one, To Light a Sacred Flame. This is more kind of diving down inside yourself, and then everyday magic and kind of just living magic, but pulling from deep down inside, if that makes sense. So I highly recommend these books. A book that I purchased for my daughter, also written by Silver Ravenwolf, is Teen Witch. I do recommend this book even if you're not a teen. This as well gives you the basics of witchcraft practice, kind of thoughts behind earth-centered religions. So if you are starting out, this is another great reference. And the last book that I kind of go to is Grimoire for the Green Witch by, I think it's Anne Mora. I'm horrible. I'm a book nerd, so like if I haven't heard it before, if I just read it, that's what comes out. So this is a great reference. And as you can see, I have things marked in here. I pull this out all the time. It's a great green witchcraft kind of book. It gives you basics on spells, rituals, things like that. But the back part is the best part for me. There are planetary alignments. There are some gemstones. There are charts. There are deities. There is everything. This is a overflowing fountain of amazing knowledge, this book. And I am always pulling it off the shelf and referencing it if I need sigils, times of day, anything. This book has been invaluable to me. So those are the 4 books that I have on my personal witchy bookshelf that I do recommend if you are starting out, Wicca, witchcraft, things like that. Like I said before, I really haven't purchased much in the way of beginning books in about 10 or 15 years. So I do know there's some great, other books out there right now. So the series is going to be split up, herb books, crystal books, things like that. I'm personally a follower of the Avalonian tradition, so I want to do a video on that as well. I hope you all enjoyed this. My recommendations for kind of starting out Wicca and witchcraft and things that I actually have on my personal bookshelf. You can check us out at www.inkedgoddesscreations.com. Our shop blog on there is called the Inked Grimoire. We are home to the Magic Mail subscription box. And I hope you all enjoyed this and that you'll join me for future videos. Thanks. Have a great day.